Thank you for joining us for another exciting edition of Jamaica Magazine. I'm your host, Adrian Atkinson. February has arrived, which means fewer days, but more exciting celebrations. So make every day count by moving intentionally. One deliberate move is seen in the government's step toward protecting our shores. We will also look at how we can all be more intentional about tree planting. We'll have all of this and more when we return.
On our roads, remember, take time, be courteous, drive good, walk good. Don't drink alcohol and drive. Don't drive tired or sleepy. Don't tailgate and don't overtake unless it is safe to do so. And always drive at a speed which will allow you time to stop quickly and safely. Let's keep it safe on our roads.
Good day, I'm Theodore Henry and this is your JIS News for Friday, February 3, 2023. Prime Minister Andrew Holness says Jamaica is prepared to support a united international effort to respond to the deteriorating conditions in Haiti. Mr. Holness says Jamaica remains committed to working with CARICOM and bilateral partners such as Canada and the United States to provide sustainable solutions. He says Jamaica is also taking interest in efforts by the Organization of American States, OAS.
We note with interest an initiative being contemplated within the OAS to strengthen the organization's response to the increasingly complex and challenging situation in Haiti. Jamaica will remain closely involved in efforts within this body to develop constructive approaches at the hemispheric level.
The Prime Minister was speaking in the House of Representatives on Tuesday. He expressed particular concern at the fact nearly 5 million people face acute hunger across Haiti as cases of cholera challenge the country's public health system.
Jamaica would be willing to participate in a multinational security assistance deployment to Haiti under the appropriate jurisdictional parameters to support a return to a reasonable level of stability and peace.
Government will be putting a stop to the illegal practice of persons buying and selling driver's licenses. The warning came from Minister of Transport and Mining Audley Shaw in his address at the launch of York Castle High School's driver education program.
It is going to end, and this event and what you're doing here at York Castle High School will be part of the replacement for people buying their licenses.
Minister Shaw endorsed the program, which teaches students driving skills so they can acquire their driving licenses. Pointing to its importance, he indicated that road crash statistics revealed that unqualified minors were operating vehicles.
We've seen cases where children have been driving motorcycles and motor vehicles, becoming involved in road crashes as well. When we look at the ages, these children did not meet the requirements for acquiring even a learner's permit. And therefore, we're not in possession of such.
Minister of Education and Youth Favour Williams says the program is a part of the ministry's thrust for the development of technical skills in the education system.
The Ministry of Education and Youth and its agencies have been moving to reorient our approach to education to make it more accessible, more relevant and practical. And this driver education program is one to emulate and have rolled out to other high schools in Jamaica.
The Jamaica Business Development Corporation, JBDC, is this month launching a national survey instrument to ensure the availability of proper data for creatives and cultural industries, CCIs. Deputy Chief Executive Officer of the JBDC, Harold Davis, says this is to garner comprehensive and empirical data that can support the development of CCIs at the micro, enterprise, sector and national levels.
We have refined the data mining or mechanism somewhat, and as a result of that now we're going back to the key stakeholders in the industry with a view to launch an all industry survey at the beginning of February 2023, just in time for Reggae Month.
Mr. Davis was addressing a recent JIS think tank. Director of the Economic Accounting Division at the Statistical Institute of Jamaica, Paula Jackson, is urging stakeholders to provide the information required in detail.
For it to continue, we need to sensitize person. What information do we need to keep going forward with this? When you're looking at your GDP, you need to get certain things like your sales, your consumption, intermediate consumption, which are really purchases and so on. When you're asked for the information, please provide the information at a detailed level.
The initiative, expected to cost $72,000, is being conducted on the UNESCO project that is geared towards bolstering Jamaica's cultural and creative industries. Government has initiated talks with the new director of the Pan American Health Organization, PAHO, for an urgent plan to address the impact of migrating health professionals from Jamaica and the region. Minister of Health and Wellness Dr. Christopher Tufton held discussions with PAHO's new director, Dr. Jarbas Barbosa, at the headquarters of the Organization of American States in Washington, D.C. on Wednesday. Dr. Tufton pointed out that the Caribbean region continued to suffer from the fallout caused by the migration of health workers, which was threatening to significantly compromise the healthcare delivery system. He expressed the need for an urgent coordinated action plan led by PAHO. This, he said, should address the human resource needs of the developed world while also providing capacity for developing countries, which are the main points of recruitment for health workers. Minister Tufton is chair of the PAHO Executive Committee for 2022-2023. The Executive Committee, comprised of 9 member states of PAHO, meets twice a year to discuss the organization's budget and policies for addressing pressing health issues in the region of the Americas. And finally, Jamaicans are being urged to do regular heart screenings as cardiovascular disease is the leading cause of deaths globally and accounts for 30% of deaths in Jamaica. February is being observed as Heart Month under the theme, Do Your Part, Check Your Heart. Chair of the Heart Foundation of Jamaica, Dr. Adrian Chung, says the risk factors are high, where 1 in 3 persons are hypertensive, 1 in 2 are obese or overweight, and 12% of Jamaicans are diagnosed as diabetic or pre-diabetic.
Can we really afford not to screen? It's part of the mandate and the mission of the Heart Foundation of Jamaica, which is to reduce the incidence and prevalence of cardiovascular disease in our population through a process of health education, screening, and also offering access to more advanced cardiac testing and cardiac care. And it's not an onerous task to screen for heart disease.
Dr. Chung is advising persons to check and know the numbers for their blood pressure at every healthcare visit. At least once per year, he says individuals should also check their blood sugar level, body weight, and have discussions about smoking, physical activity, and diet. And that's it for JIS News Today. I'm Theodore Henry. Thanks for watching.
Here's how we sign the alphabet.
A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P, Q, R, S, T, U, V, W, X, Y, and Z. Now I know my ABCs. Next time, won't you sign with me?
The illicit trafficking of illegal firearms, drugs, and people is a significant challenge for our nation, and a challenge our government is currently tackling. Let's take a look.
Before, in the last 30 years, we really never invested in our domain control. know, when you say Jamaica, Jamaica is a domain, an area that is sovereign to it. How do you control that? We have people illegally fishing in our waters, illegally trafficking guns and drugs and contraband and people in our waters, using Jamaica as a transshipment point, getting the gangs to secure the illegal transshipment, to corrupt the authorities so that they can pass through our ports. That has been going on for decades. Who has ever sought to say, let us stop it? We had one major attempt at that when we had Kingfish. We have had several partnerships with the United States and other countries to interdict vessels coming in. We had ship rider agreement. But Jamaica never really had the capacity unless it came from partnering with others. We have invested now in our domain control. Several offshore patrol vessels have been bought, and you're seeing the results. Protecting our natural assets, interdicting cocaine and other contraband coming into our space. We collaborate with intelligence, but our asset in the water. And that will take time to harden the domain so that people don't see Jamaica as a space where they can transship and then fund guns. Once that capacity is built, then the general level of criminality, of guns coming in, will be reduced.
Looking for a destination to visit when you want to get away from the daily grind? Then stop searching, because Trelawny is calling.
In Trelawny, there's a little of this and a little of that. So all you have to do is come discover and experience. Okay. Rafting on the Matabray River is part of the offerings here in Trelawny. So when next you're in the parish, come on down. Captain JK, take it away.
Yeah, man. No lay. We don't play. This is how we stay. Everything gotta be okay.
High five.
Blessed. Yeah, man.
So how long you have been doing this for?
I've been doing this over 2 decades now.
Oh, 20 years.
So I know this stuff quite well, you know?
Okay.
But actually we're on the rapids now, you know?
Wait, stop. We can't end this moment so soon. No, sir. Hold this frame for a little while till we go check out some other places and come back.
Welcome to Falmouth Elite School, once the home of Fort Belcaris. This fort was built in 1811. It was built to protect the harbour and the town of Falmouth. Falmouth in those days was a boom town, boomy, it had a lot of money, and so persons would like to come in and plunder, so this was built. Soldiers were housed in the building at the back, and they were the ones who were manning the fort.
and this is where the armory was stored.
Now, in later years, the fort was used no more, and so in 1902, it became the Falmouth All-Age School.
Now check out this almond tree. It is said to have been around before or from the days of Fort Belcaris, which means it is well over 200 years.
This mill behind me here is a relic of the slave plantation and of the sugar production when sugar was king in the 18th century. It is part of a large estate called Holland Estate. The thing about it is, this property no longer belongs to a slave holder, no longer belongs to a sugar plantation, but is actually the site of William Knibb Memorial High School, named after the famous emancipator, William Knibb. It is quite ironic that in a place where slavery thrived and our forefathers suffered, now sits an institution of learning for the descendants of those very same slaves. Ironic, isn't it?
It's all about the nightlife here in Trelawny as well, where you can experience the colorful transformation of the glistening waters' luminous lagoon. To capture this part of my tour, I had to start the night before.
We do nightly boat rides. You can come on down and see the flashes of light once the water is being disturbed. We are the only natural night attraction in Jamaica, and it is also known as the world's famous luminous lagoon.
We had a magical experience tonight. It was a great time. Highly recommend it. We'll definitely be back.
It's nothing like it in the world. I've never seen anything like this. So, awesome time.
Glistening waters to the world.
You see why you have to come to Trelawny? And if bargain is what you want, then Bend Down is the place to be. What go on, my friend? All right, tell me, what's so popular about Bend Down?
Bend Down, everybody can come here, so come get cheap goods, cheap clothes, everything.
Oh, so how you get the name Bend Down?
People from all over Ireland, just come here, so they just throw down their things anywhere and sell.
Oh, and people used to have to just bend down and
people
pick up
just
the
bend
stuff
down
and
and
things
take up
there.
anything.
All right, so I'm here for some bargain, so maybe I should bend down and pick up mine. Bargain for real. $100, another 100, another 100, 300, and I'm going for more. All right, thanks. All right, thanks here.
I like my parish Trelawny because the water is so cool, it's been cool and nice. And I like the environment is so clean and the new market is so amazing. That's why I love my parish Trelawny. Big up Trelawny.
Here's more about this parish.
It's all about peace and tranquility, ambience and relaxation, you know? Yeah, man. Bless up.
After a long day exploring Trelawny, this is the perfect end. Just relaxing on the Matabray River. Until next time, when I catch you around the bend. Later.
Greatness is in your bones.
I'm unstoppable. I'm a butcher with no braids. I'm invincible. Yeah, I win every single game.
We're looking for great things this season, and I know you believe it within your very core. And so we have committed to continue the support behind you and in front of you and beside you so that you can excel and you can do well and you can be your best self.
I'm unstoppable. I'm a butcher with no brakes. I'm invincible. Yeah, I win every single day.
We require oxygen to breathe, which trees emit. Trees also lessen the quantity of stormwater runoff, which prevents erosion, pollution, and possibly even the consequences of flooding in our waterways. Therefore, there is a pressing need for every one of us to plant a tree. Check out our coming feature for your how-to guide.
Trees are often considered the lungs of the earth. As part of their life cycle, they take in carbon dioxide and release oxygen into the atmosphere. Let's all continue this necessary part of keeping our planet healthy by planting more trees. And here's how you do it. First things first, decide what tree you will be planting. Is it one that will provide timber? Shade? Will it beautify your space or will you be eating its fruits? Once that's settled, you need to consider what kind of conditions it would need to grow. Naturally, some plants do better in some areas than others, while others need full exposure to sunlight versus those that can survive without direct light. And there's also the soil type to consider. Some trees thrive near seasides. Others prefer mountain areas, while certain trees are content in the valleys. Next up, space. Some trees grow wide, others tall. While you may be able to prune trees to keep them under control, some lose their essence when tamed. So, be sure to plant large trees in areas where they will have adequate space to grow. If you have a smaller space, consider growing a smaller tree that requires less pruning to keep it in check. Then there's the matter of your fully grown tree posing a threat to nearby structures. As a country situated in the hurricane belt, downed trees during times of disaster is a part of our reality. There's also the pesky issue of trees which shed their leaves profusely, and others with copious amounts of flowers and fruits, which might just be the cause of a dispute with your neighbor if planted near the fence. That being said, be sure to plant trees at a safe distance from walls, power lines, fences, sidewalks, and the very foundation of your house. Once you've considered all those tips, it's time to plant.
First step is to dig a hole, right? Not too deep, about a foot and a half, not too wide either, because you're not burying the plant. You're trying to provide a nice area for it to grow. Right? Upon digging your hole, if you notice that the soil type is clay, that is the kind of coarse soil type, you'd probably need topsoil, right? Because when you're putting back the soil, it's going to be a challenge for you. But after that, you dampen the soil, ensure that it's moist, provide a moist area or environment for the plant to be planted in. Ensure the plant is in the center of the hole. If you dig the hole a bit too deep, there's a process known as backfilling, right? That's when you put back the dirt into the soil to a certain height that is much favorable for you and for the plant. After you do that, you want to dampen the soil, right? Ensure the plant is in the center, because you end up having a plant to grow lean or to the side, because plants go into the direction of the sunlight. Ensure that the soil goes up to the root collar. Now the root collar is where the stem and the root of the plant or the root plug meet, right? You don't want to go above that. Once you do finish that, you water it, then you stake it. When I say stake, you take either a bamboo stake or a regular stake, put a flagging tape beside onto it and put it beside the plant. That is you marking the plant. So once you're doing any maintenance, you yourself or any other individual in the area can know that, hey, there's something planted there. So you don't end up wasting your effort and time when planting. The most important thing is watering after and nurturing the plants. So you water early mornings and late evenings. If you water in between those times, especially in the afternoons, the plant will end up struggling with the intake of the water, right? Because the sun is going to be evaporating at the same time it's trying to take in the nutrients. You can also mulch, fertilize, or add kaya dust or sawdust to the mound to help lock in moisture for the plant.
And there you have it, a step-by-step demonstration of how to plant a tree. Call 876-618-3205 or visit 173 Constant Spring Road to get your plant seedlings. Happy planting!
We need all Jamaicans to know that child abuse is not just an issue for the government, it's an issue for all Jamaicans. So we need everybody to help us to protect our children. If you know of a child who is being victimized, a child who is abused or neglected, just make that report so we can get that child the help they need. Calling or reporting is easy. All you have to do is remember to call 211. If you are an adult, if you're a child, if you are in church, in your community group, wherever you are, once you are aware there's a child who is in need of care and protection, just be the one and call 211.
Have you ever thought about Jamaica as a brand or what defines us? If you haven't, consider this.
We have a natural competitive advantage in the creative and cultural industries. As a matter of fact, when you think about brand Jamaica and what defines brand Jamaica, certainly externally, it's really founded in the creative and cultural industries. You're talking about our music, our food, our sports, and so on. Those are the things that define brand Jamaica externally.
So the next time you leave the island, carry your brand proudly and promote Jamaica as a desirable place to live, work, raise families, and do business. We've reached the end of our program. Get a recap of everything you saw here and more on our website, gis.gov.jm. Give a smile away today. From all of us here at the GIS, I'm Adrian Atkinson. Bye for now.
This has been a production of the Jamaica Information Service, the voice of Jamaica.